Have you ever been working on a project, maybe writing a book, bringing something into the world, and it's like it just kind of gets boring or feels dried up or stagnant? Essentially, where the creative energy is not flowing in that project. This can happen more often than you think. And I'm going to give you some tips today to actually bring in that creative flow, that juice, that energy to reignite and re energize whatever creation or project that you're working on. So, the first tip is to actually get present with it. Often, it's our lack of presence that is keeping us from knowing what's required, what's going on, what's changed here. Okay. So get present with it. Maybe you're a blog writer and you've been writing a blog every week and you're just kind of like meh, like all the ideas have dried up. Or you have a podcast or a show and it's just kind of like you're doing the motions, like you're doing it, you're getting it done because you committed to it, but it's not enlivening, it's not lighting you up, it's not exciting you, right? It's just kind of like something that you do. So many different areas. This could be writing a book, this could be even in your own relationship. So no creative flow, no creative energy. It's just kind of like there existing or kind of slowly dying. Get present with it. So you're getting present with the relationship, with the podcast, with the project. Just kind of lower your barriers and just be with it. Hi. Hello, creation. Hello, project. Now, even that is huge. If you only did that and turned off this video right now, that could change everything because your presence actually starts to create more possibilities. Your presence actually starts to change things immediately. So get present with it. And now ask yourself, do you still desire to contribute, to create with whatever this is, or is it actually complete? And I don't mean from, let's say you're writing a book and the book's not done. And you ask, is it complete? And you get this sense of lightness. What that might mean is that the book in this particular way is complete. Like you did everything that you were going to do in this area, and it's time to pivot. It's time to shift. It's time to go into a different creation. You might also get the aware that it's not complete, but this is as far as you can go right now. So sometimes something will come into our worlds and it's like, yes, yes, yes. And it's creative, creative, creative. And then it kind of stops. And that might be literally as far as you could go at that time with that particular thing. And then later on, you might revisit it with new energies because the world's changed, because you change, because there's something different available. So you've gotten present, you've asked these two questions. Now comes some more of the energy stuff. And asking questions is actually energy stuff. So when you ask a question, you change the molecules of something, and you also start to shift where you're heading by asking a question. So we have this project over here that feels like it's kind of, you're dragging it along and you're kind of avoiding it. Right? The moment you start to ask a question about it, it starts to change. So start to ask the question of it. So obviously, in this scenario, if we're going to continue on, you've gotten light on, there's still more to create here, and you've gotten light on now is the time to create. Okay. If you get heavy on those, I do recommend you leave everything that doesn't contribute to you. And if it's not for now, don't try and drag it on. I've dragged so many things along. When it's not time, it's not time. It's just like if you're, marinating food or you're baking a cake, like if you take the cake out before it's ready, I mean, there's delicious stuff in it, but it's not going to be delicious, right? Okay, so now you're okay. Now we're here. We want to add some juice. We want to get it going. So you're going to actually talk to this thing and you're going to say, hey, like, can we change this? Can we add some more creative energy? Can we make this more fun? And just asking those questions will start to change it. And it will start to get you more aware, even if it's not cognitive at first. You might ask these questions and like 3 days later, you have this big idea. Well, that was from what you catalyzed by asking that initial question. Then you might want to ask, who or what could I add to this to enliven it, to get the creative juices flowing, to make this really fun? So maybe you bring on guests onto your podcast, or maybe you have a co-speaker with you, or maybe it's literally just adding an energy, more fun, more play, more silliness, more. Maybe you need to like go and be with some creative people or go get inspired creatively. And then you add that energy to what you're doing, right? And you can really ask that question, what would I like to create with this now? Because you may have started it with something in your mind. And as you go along, it changes. But if you're not acknowledging that it's changed, you're still functioning from that first target. But if you're now in a whole different universe, you can acknowledge, what would I like to create now? What would I like to create with this now? I look at my podcast has changed dynamically then from when I first started it. And it's changing again. And actually these Tuesday conscious infusions has changed, and you're going to see that change in the next couple months because it's just ready for something different. And then here's the last tip is, how much chaos can I instill here that would change all of this? Chaos is literally a creative force. So there's a beauty in getting systems in place, where I know, I record at this time so it can go out here and like this. So I have all these systems in place. But when you start to like really focus something in and really like order it, then the creativity will be stifled and die from it. Because that's kind of what, like a thin level line, not level, maybe level, a thin line of order can actually nurture something, but too much order will stifle and almost, I want to say, snuff out like fire, like snuff out the creative fire. So when you ask to instill chaos, this is not a cognitive thing. You're just going to actually ask to instill chaos, and then chaos will show up because you asked. So whether it's just an energy or suddenly something comes along and your whole routine's messed up, but then when you come back to it, it's got this new life, this new energy into it. That's the magic there. This is like a great way to incorporate magic into your life, into your business, into all the things that you're creating with. I hope that this video was a contribution to you. If you liked it, like it. I always forget to, but I'm trying to get better at it. So just hit that little like button, maybe leave a comment below, share it with a friend. I'd be so grateful. And watch out for some changes because this is asking to be something different. And I do hope that it is a contribution to you. We'll see you in the next video.